everybody, welcome to Lorna Grooves Yoga, and this is a video today that you can do at the wall. What you're going to need is 2 blocks to start, a blanket or otherwise one of those little composite foamy things, and also maybe a bolster or something that you can prop yourself a little higher with. Starting at the wall is a great way to get into a yoga practice if you're not quite sure what you want to do that day. Just starting to get your body moving, having your legs up, all of a sudden you'll remember lovely poses from class that you want to work on. It's also a wonderful way to release the muscles of the lower back, release the whole back, the neck, and also get a good stretch into the back of your legs. We're also going to get into our hips a bit today. So the first pose we're going to do is sitting in Baddha Konasana. I've put a little blanket here to sit on, and then I'm going to scoot myself right up to the wall. I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together, get my sitting bones right back against the wall, and then I'm going to I have 2 blocks underneath my knees. Got them here just in case I need them. And for those of you that are more flexible, you may not need a block. You can really bring your feet in nice and snugly as your feet can connect to the mat. And then you're going to bring your spine into a beautiful vertical position. You can roll your shoulders back, bring your elbows to the wall, back of the hands to the wall, back of the head maybe to the wall. And take 3 deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose. Here, bringing your hands just to rest on your knees. You could bring your hands into Janu Mudra, pointing finger and thumb together, the other 3 fingers opened out, extended. And just softening your gaze and allowing yourself to become aware of the parts of your body that are connected to the earth and to your mat. And the parts of your body that are open to the sky above and the air around you. Hearing the sounds inside and outside of your room. Cars driving by, perhaps the temperature of the air on your skin, and then hone your senses and begin to notice the rhythm of your breath. And from here, begin to feel how your ribs expand on the inhale and how your spine lengthens on the exhale, quite naturally. But perhaps now that your awareness has been brought to this area of the body, how you can feel your intercostals expanding against the wall on the inhale, the spine lengthening on the exhale. Notice how that shifts through the whole body. Those of you practicing Jalandhara Bandha, that is the dropping of the chin towards the chest. Bring in an intentional soft Jalandhara Bandha. And perhaps on the exhale, begin to feel an upward drawing of the pelvic floor for Mula Bandha. Holding that Mula Bandha just 20%, so that you can continue breathing. We're keeping a little lift through the pelvic floor, and then perhaps maybe even bringing in a bit of Uddiyana Bandha, lifting up from the navel up underneath the diaphragm on the exhale. And the repercussions of that are that you'll feel even more of your back body on the wall. Let's take one more deep breath together. From here, relaxing your head, relaxing your hands, wiggling your feet out a little bit, bringing your knees up and bring your feet out. We're going to come into my new favorite pose. It's called construction worker at lunch pose. And for this one, if you're very flexible, you could come in right from here. I would suggest, the main reason to do this pose is to stretch out the lower back again, or the whole of the back. I would suggest you sit on something that you have available, and you could stack things up. I have a bolster here, and that's just the perfect height for me. So I'm going to put that where the blanket was, sit right on it, bring my feet out in front of me. Once again, taking a deep breath in. And as I breathe out this time, I'm going to come into this yin style. So I'm going to drop my head towards my body, hang forward, and allow everything to release. Gravity will do the work for you. If you're finding this a little bit stressful, you may want some props in front of you to hold on to. You could also interlace your fingers and in that way help yourself feel supported. The main target of this pose is to allow the whole of the back body to feel wide, especially the sacrum. That's the across the hips. You want to feel length through the spine, but width through the whole of the back body. Softness through the neck and jaw and face. Let's take 2 more breaths. Release your hands, bringing your hands onto a part of your body that can draw yourself up really slowly. Maybe taking the back of your head, lifting the back of your head up, releasing the arms and shaking everything out. We're now going to go onto our backs on the mat, and if you really tighten your lower back, you might want to put a folded blanket, and please fold it really smoothly so that you've got a nice, comfortable, even surface to work with. And from here, we're going to put ourselves sideways, and getting yourself snug against the wall. There's no really elegant way to do this. You always feel like a beached seal the first few times you do it. So pretty much just go for it. We're going to swing our legs up the wall as we get our arms out to the side, and then you wiggle yourself up a little snugger. If you are using a blanket, you would have either rolled with that underneath you, or you could put that underneath your pelvis right now. I like to take my hands, cup my head in my hands, lengthen the back of my neck, and then bring my arms to where they feel most comfortable, allowing the spine to be the midline of the pose and finding balance between right and left. From here, we're going to take our arms up towards the sky, palms facing each other. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, release the shoulders. Breathing in, lifting the scapula off the floor. Exhale, releasing. Breathing in, lifting the shoulder blades off the floor. Exhale, releasing. And then taking your hands towards the wall and then away from the wall. Just moving in a totally linear direction. And the next time you take your arms overhead, allow them to stay there. If they don't come all the way to the mat, bend your elbows until your arms feel comfortable. Bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet down. As you breathe in, feeling the body relax. As you breathe out, feel the tailbone lengthen towards the wall and the crown of the head lengthens simultaneously towards the edge of your mat. So breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I'm squeezing my feet together on the exhale and sending my knees towards the wall as well. Let's try that again now with our legs extended. So I call this Uddiyana Bandha breath, but it is just a deep belly breath with a contraction. What we're doing is we're breathing and filling the body with breath. As you exhale, you're pushing through the heels of the legs, extending through the fingertips. At the same time, you're taking your belly back towards the spine, up and under the ribs. Release the muscles of the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time sweeping the arms all the way back down, bringing your feet towards the wall. Bring the feet a little bit apart. You could slide your feet down and come into a bit of a squat here if you liked. Especially if squatting on the floor is difficult, this is a great way to come into your squat. Again, just checking that your chin is not beginning to ride up, lengthening through the back of the head. from here we're going to bring our feet a little bit higher, and we're going to work with coming into our hips. If you're very flexible, you could possibly stay here. Otherwise, wiggle away from the wall about little finger to thumb away. I've gone a little bit further, and then stretch your legs straight out again. And we want to line our ankles, knees above our hips. We want everything to line up, all the bones to line up here. The spine is still in the center. Then we're going to take our right ankle, cross it over our left ankle, slide the ankle down until it comes below the knee. And if you can't get below the knee, wiggle a little bit further away from the wall. Then slide your left foot down the wall until you feel a stretch in the right side of the leg. You might feel it in the hip, you might feel it more in the inner thigh, you might even feel it in your lower back. And your volume control is on your left leg. So the deeper the bend in the left knee, the deeper the stretch in the right side of the body. From here, take your left hand, open your fingers wide and thread your little finger between your little toe and next toe, and then interlace each finger between your toes. Give your top of your foot a lovely squeeze, and then begin to roll your right ankle a couple of times one way, and then the same amount of times the other way. I also like to dig in with my thumb into my arch of my foot. Finding stillness and either leaving your hand here or releasing it, and finding a place where you can begin to breathe really smoothly, finding ease and smoothness through the breath. You may have your arms down at your sides. You may prefer to have your arms over your head, and noticing that your jaw and neck and shoulders are relaxed. Let's take one more full deep breath here together. And then if you are very close to the wall, wiggle yourself away a little bit and move your foot down the wall a bit. That's your left foot. And then I'm going to take my arms out to the side and just dropping my both my legs towards the left. If that doesn't feel good in your knees, feel free to straighten this leg out and come into a softer twist here, or even just a both knee drop over twist. If this feels doable to you, let's give it a go. So you're going to drop the right foot to the floor, and from here your leg that's against the wall, your left leg could sweep back a little bit, or you could find somewhere for it to go. And I'm finding today it always depends on your distancing. I'm going to stay right here. I wouldn't mind having something to support my foot so I don't have to hold it in place. And then just releasing back into both my shoulders. You could make this twist a little more intense by wrapping your leg, your top leg underneath, and coming again into more of a twisted roots kind of feel. Try to keep both shoulders on the mat, and then also finding a place for your head to be. I'm going to choose to have my head turned towards the right, getting a little stretch through the left side of my neck. One more breath. Taking your right arm over, your head over. Exhale. On the inhale, bring everything back to center. Straighten both legs out. Give them a little shake. I'm going to wiggle back a little closer just in case I've moved too far away. Bending your knees, just checking in that your body feels good. And let's go to the other side. So we started with our legs straight up. Ankles over knees, knees over hips. Cross the left ankle over the right knee this time. And slide the left foot down until it's below your right knee. And then bending the right leg. Your right leg is now your volume control. Settle in. And then taking your right hand, putting the palm of your hand towards the sole of your left foot. Interlace your fingers from your little toe and finger, interlacing each finger one at a time. And then giving the toes and the ankle a rotation about 3 times one way and then about 3 or 4 times the other way. And I like to bring my thumb into the arch of my foot. Bit of reflexology. And then either leaving your foot here, your hand here, or releasing it and finding a place for your arms to be so that your neck and shoulders can relax. Now sometimes our knees come really close to our body, and I quite like to put a block between my chest and my knee on this side because it doesn't hurt me in any way, it doesn't make a difference to the stretch, but I would like to open up the side a bit more. And this is one way to put the knee there and see what happens. On some days it feels like the stretch is deeper if I don't have the block there. So play around with this. And I hope my alignment's all good. I've got nobody to check if my knee is over my hip and ankle is in line here. The slightest shift makes a huge difference. And this is preparing us for pigeon pose or kapotasana, and in yin we call it swan pose. The great part about this pose is that it's getting into the muscles that are turned off when we're sitting a lot in chairs. So we're creating a bit of an awareness here. It's also a release for people that do a lot of running, walking, cycling. This is a really great stretch. Take one more deep breath together. If you have a block between your leg and your body, removing that now. And then just seeing if your body is going to be okay, your legs are going to be okay, your back and hips. And if that's all right, going ahead, otherwise making an adjustment. Coming over to the side. Bringing your foot to the floor, perhaps sliding this leg back a bit, maybe getting your underneath leg on top of the top leg, and deciding where your head would like to be. See if you can breathe into the back body here. One more full deep breath. Bringing the left arm over. Engaging the abdominals, bringing everything back up again. Stretching the legs up. Bringing the fingertips together. Let's inhale, open the legs nice and wide, clamshell. As you exhale, bringing everything back together. Now if you're feeling that your legs are, they can't get over your body, just bend your knees and pop something, either your blanket or a block underneath your pelvis to elevate your pelvis so that your legs can come right over your body. And you could also bend your knees as much as you need to. From here, take a full deep inhalation. See if you can bring your knees together, big toes together. Full exhalation. And then inhaling, opening everything out sideways, like a big book. And as you exhale, hinging everything back together. Last one. Now if you do have something under your back and or under your pelvis and it's really big, choose to rather have something a little lower right now. Put that underneath your back, but lifting up your pelvis and making sure it's nice and flat. And then we'll just do some rolling side to side. And this is from the tensegrity practice. So you're going to take your knees connected and big toes connected. If things don't gather together easily, bring a block between your legs. And from here, we're going to leave our elbows on the floor, hands up, bringing the knees in towards the chest. Inhale. As you exhale, dropping everything over towards the side, leaving the shoulders on the floor. And coming back on the inhale. On the exhale, allowing the head to turn to the opposite side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Always keeping the knees and big toes connected. Exhale. Let's do one more round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. From here we're going to roll right around, and we'll come into a child's pose for a few moments. Let's put one fist on top of the other. If your sitting bones don't come easily to your heels, feel free to put a blanket between your calves and your thighs to bring you some contact. It's really nice to have contact in child's pose. Think of yourself like a tortoise here. So we're going to sit back into our sitting bones onto our heels. If that doesn't work, put a blanket between your legs, between the calves and the thighs. And then bringing the body forward, and we'll put two fists down, one on top of the other. Put the forehead on the fists. Take 3 breaths. From here, if you can, let your head come down to the mat. Find a comfortable place for your neck to be. And then sweep your arms around. Let your shoulders relax, elbows relax. We'll take 5 full breaths here. Namaste.